Hi everyone. So in this video we are going to see about Indian economy, the major problems of Indian economy. So the problems that we are going to discuss today that prevails in Indian economy are poverty, inequality, unemployment and population. So the first major problem in Indian economy is poverty. So poverty is wherein you have more poor people in India. So who is a poor people or who is a poor person? He is the one who lacks basic necessities of life. So generally it is the income of the people that is taken into account for considering whether he is below the poverty line or above the poverty line. The other indicators to measure the poverty of people in any country is the spending, is the intake of food and the standard of living of the people in a country. So statistics regarding poverty in India. So as per recent data, it is approximately 88 million people out of 1.2 billion Indians. That is 6.7% of India's population. They live below the poverty line. So with regard to the statistics regarding the states where the people below the poverty line are higher is this table. So this table depicts the rural people who below the poverty line and urban people who live below the poverty line. So Bihar is a state wherein you will have majority of people in India. So who lives below the poverty line, followed by Madhya Pradesh, Orissa, Assam. So what are the main reasons of poverty in India? The first main reason is the state of agriculture. In India, the agriculture is a main occupation, but still the technology that is used in agriculture is very backward. So there is less productions and there is fragmented holdings of land. So the productivity in agriculture is less, and hence rural people poverty is more in India. The second important point is illiteracy. So only when people are educated, literates, they can go in for an employment. So in India, illiteracy rate is more, and hence they earn only a meager income. So low income, it actually depicts low standard of living and higher rate of poverty. The next one is like unemployment. So since the population is like very higher than India, though there are like industrial growth and agricultural growth, you could see there is the problem of unemployment happening. So this unemployment means people stay at home without any job, so there would be no income for them. So when there is no income, they live below the poverty line. And the next one is unequal distribution of wealth. So in India, you could see the wealth distribution is like very unequal. So it's like rich getting richer and richest, while poor getting poorer and poorest, and hence there is higher rate of poverty. And finally, as I already told you, excessive population. So more population is one of the main reasons for India having majority of people under the poverty line. So what are all the basic approach to remove poverty? So there are 4 important approach that could be adopted by the government in order to remove poverty. The first one is growth oriented approach. The second one is poverty alleviation program. The third one is minimum needs program, and the fourth one is self-employment programs. Growth oriented approach is wherein the economy aims at increasing the gross domestic product of the country, meaning when there is more production, there would be a need for more employment, more labor. So this increases the employment opportunities of the people, so more income, and hence poverty could be eradicated. The next one is poverty alleviation program. So loan facilities to the poor, pension benefit, maternity benefit, education allowances. So these are some of the examples of the program that could be conducted by the government in order to eradicate poverty. Minimum needs program, it talks about the focus of the government in order to provide people with primary education, rural health, water supply, roads, housing facilities, etc. So this minimum needs program focuses on providing more benefit programs to poor and weaker section of the society. Finally, self-employment programs are wherein government actually, in order to eradicate poverty, they actually provide employment opportunity to self-help groups, entrepreneurial assistance, etc. So these programs aim at encouraging the young entrepreneurs or rural entrepreneurs to start their own business instead of working under some other boss. So these are the 4 important government approach in order to remove poverty in India. So the next concept that we are going to see is inequality. So in this section, we are going to see just about the inequality of income. So what is the meaning of inequality of income? It means gross inequality of income between the different sections of the society. So in India, on the one side, you could see billionaires, multimillionaires leading a life of plenty, while on the other side, you could witness poverty, misery, and poor people who doesn't have the basic needs fulfilled. So this situation is called as inequality of income. So as per the data, it is said that in India, the bottom 20% of family, they spend 8%, while top 20% of family spend 46% of their income. So this inequality or disparity in expenditure and income distribution between the richest and the poorest is called as inequality. Okay, so this is basically the meaning of inequalities of income. And even in villages, not just in cities alone, even in villages you could see the land ownership is dominated by large farmers, while small farmers with they just have holdings something related to 22%, while large farmers, they hold the lands to the extent of 78%. So this domination is also called as inequality of income in the rural areas. So what are all the main causes of inequality of income? The first main cause is the capitalist economy. The second one is the law of inheritance. The third one is monopolies and big business. So these are the 3 important causes of inequality of income. Capitalist economy is wherein it focuses on profit motive. Law of inheritance is wherein when the wealth of the rich parents are inherited by their children, there is unequal opportunity for the persons who are born in poor family. Okay, so and the other reason is that big businesses, they are booming like anything and putting on pressure groups, becoming the pressure groups for the government, in framing the policy. They actually influence government to frame policy in their favor. So these are the main causes of inequality of income in India. So what could be the consequences or evils of inequality of income? What if there is more people, what if India experiences inequality of income? The first one is like there will be different standard of living of the people, and the expenditure of rich is high, which causes wastage, while the expenditure of poor would be low, which causes scarcity on essentials. And the inequalities, it also causes class conflict and social tension. It also have an impact on the exploitation of poor, and the other evil consequences are wastage in consumption, insecurity of labor class, wrong utilization of resources, concentration of economic power, etc. So how could we actually reduce inequality of income? There are 2 methods, leveling down method and leveling up method. Under leveling down method, we use the Marxist method, wherein we are going to actually make the rich poor, okay, in order to have equality. So it's like getting the money from the rich people and distributing it among the poor based on the principle need and ability. And the next method, level up method, is also called as fiscal policy method, wherein we are going to actually increase the taxes to be collected from the rich, and such taxes are to be widely used in order to provide facilities for the weaker section of the society. So this is how we could actually reduce inequality of income. So the next concept that we are going to see is unemployment. So what is unemployment? The meaning of unemployment is that it is inefficient utilization of human resources. Okay, so it is an inefficient utilization of human resources that causes lower production, and that also leads to lower standard of living of the people. So there are various kinds of unemployment, say cyclical, technological, frictional, seasonal, structural, voluntary and involuntary. So cyclical unemployment or such unemployment caused due to trade cycles. And technological environment unemployment, it actually is a result of change in techniques in production. Frictional unemployment, it is arises due to local variations or inability of people for occupation. Seasonal unemployment, it happens due to seasonal variations. Structural unemployment, it is the result of changes in economic structure of the country. Voluntary unemployment is wherein it is based on the decision of the labor to prefer to be in leisure time. And involuntary unemployment, it is due to non-availability of jobs. So these are the various kinds of unemployment. So moving on to the nature of unemployment in India. So basically Indian unemployment is of nature agriculture and rural. It's because of the reason that most of the people are in agricultural activity, and hence there actually provides more rural unemployment. And the second nature of unemployment is the disguised unemployment, and the third one is open urban unemployment. So something, agriculture unemployment is something that people experience in villages. Okay, this is due to the small holdings of land, and the majority holding of land is dominated by the large farmers. Okay, and disguised unemployment is wherein it's a situation that prevails in agriculture, and it results due to overcrowding of people in the same work. Okay, this results in idleness of the employees. Okay, so this again happens in agriculture sector. And urban unemployment or open urban unemployment is wherein you have educated graduates, you have people who have been educated and skillful, but still they are willing to work, but it still doesn't get work. So this type of unemployment is called as open urban employment. So what are the main reasons of unemployment? It's the low production, underdevelopment, poor planning, and more graduates. Okay, so low production is wherein the technique still adopted in Indian industries are not enough to provide more employment opportunities. So there is no increase in GDP as such. So only when there is high production you could actually have more profit and could have more labor into the industries. So this is one of the reasons for low production. The next one is underdevelopment. Still in agriculture sector, we are not using any modern techniques. We still use traditional methods in order to produce agricultural crops. This actually impacts on the productivity of the agricultural land as well, and also the employment issues. Poor planning is the planning commission is not devoting the enough resources for focusing on the employment oriented planning. So this is one of the major causes. And the next one is more graduates. So every year from the universities more graduates pass out, but the quality of human resources is like not enough to survive in the employment market. So what could be the remedial measures for unemployment? So there should be an economic development, there should be more labor intensive projects in industries, education system should focus on both technical and skillful education, there should be more establishments of small industries, population growth should be checked, and employment exchange should be established at all levels. rural unemployment can be solved only when there is modernized methods used in agriculture, and various entrepreneurial generation programs have to be conducted in order to encourage self-employment of people. These are the measures that could be done in order to eradicate or reduce unemployment problem. The final problem, but the major problem in Indian economy, is the population. So it is said that India is a rich country with a poor people. So Indian population is like very unique because we have diverse in language, manners, customs, mode of living. And how do we actually measure population in India? It's by census method. So the first regular census was taken in the year 1891, but after independence, it was 1951, the first census was taken, and now 2011 census was a recent one, and it was the sixth census taken after independence. Okay, and now it is said that India is in the second stage of demographic transition. So what is demographic transition? It means the first stage is wherein you have high birth rate and high death rate. In the second stage there will be high birth rate but less death rate. But in the third stage it will be less birth rate and less death rate. So now India is in the developing stage. According to the theory of demographic transition, we are in the second stage. So consequences of rapid population growth, there would be a low per capita income of the people, low standard of living, lack of agricultural development, it retards capital formation, and also there would be mass unemployment. So how to actually check on the population growth? It's through family planning programs, raising the minimum marriage age of men and women, and restraining any child marriages, and shall encourage adopting children and improving the education to men and women. Though family planning programs have been conducted, it is not efficient in India. It's because of the reason that the cultural belief of the people, okay, and there is no proper leadership for the program, and illiteracy and uneducated people, they do not understand the problem of population growth. So that is one of the important thing. And the other one, the education system and the female literacy, could be a backbone for the effective campaigning, but this is lacking in India. So these are the reasons for drawbacks in family planning program. So with this, we have covered the four major problems in Indian economy.